Welcome back, everybody. Today I'll kind of show you a little bit of progress I've been making in the past day, or past couple days. So last time where we left off was getting the odds from the API, the odds API right here. Um, so a little bit about what I did is I had to take the data. So this is a little bit of the data, right? So there's an ID for each market and it gives you where they get the odds. And then this is the odds, right? And so, like I said, last video, they don't have probabilities. I take these um, prices that they have and I um, convert it to a probability. So decimal to a probability, you can see represents the total number for each dollar bet, returns the implied probability as a percentage. Um, so I'm getting the data, getting the odds, converting it to a probability so I can match it and compare it to the probabilities I get from Alpha Arcade. Um, so here I print the implied odds, and then what I do is I calculate where I want to set those orders or where those orders should be set, right? And so I subtract the spread, and so that I'm getting a little bit of advantage, right? The saying the house always wins. That's I'm trying to be the house. And the thing I love about this is, anybody can be the house, right? Anybody can it's open data, open source. Everybody can make predictions regardless of where you are, what time it is, right? And so that's what's great about I think what's great about this type of system. Yeah. So then I calculate the new limit prices and print them, right? And so here we go into the kind of the logic. And this is still a work in progress, right? I have some other things I need to do and maybe some risk management and canceling of orders, but this is kind of a standard logic thing that am starting out with, right? And so, okay, so here we go. This is kind of the logic of when I want to make the bets and where. So here we have if the limit order that I calculated and where I want to make the limit order is more than the best current price, I'm going to set a new order. So this is kind of setting the new odds. My next steps is going to be to cancel my other orders if I have any other orders open. But right now, I'm just kind of focused on placing the bet where I want and when I want. So this, I'm going to call this place limit order. I'll show you a little bit of how what that function looks like. But essentially that will send a order to your wallet to be signed, right? And so I need to include the signage of that transaction so that it goes through and it actually places the bet. And so I'm doing the same thing with the no, right? If it's less, if the buy order is more, then I'm going to place that order. So here, I think it's better to show you guys in practice kind of what it's looking like so far. And then we'll compare that to what it looks like on Alpha Arcade at the moment. So here we go. We're going to run Python main.py. All right, sweet. I don't want it to loop around that. Okay. Okay, so here we are. I see a couple errors, but that's all right. That'll help. So we're connecting the wallet. This is that demo wallet I referred to last video. So we're going to opt into USDC if not already opted in. So I'm opting into USDC asset, the yes asset, and the no asset. These are the assets that correlate to the different outcomes. So that looks like, yep. So I opted in to asset the USDC. Looks like twice for some reason. Successfully opted in, and then it looks like there's an error here into opting into the different outcome assets. And I think I forgot to change those in the environment variables to the White Sox and Red Sox, but we'll keep going. We'll try it out after I change those. So here we go. This is the order book from the odds API, or sorry, this is the order book from Alpha Arcade. So right now, the best buy order for the Red Sox winning is 55%, and the best order for no, so the White Sox winning is 1%. And so looks like okay. So we have the current orders for on Alpha Arcade, and so now we want to get the current odds on the sports book and see try to determine what to do based off that, right? And so here you can see we pulled the data um, from yeah right here. So the get matchup odds, the implied odds, is printed here, is 61% the Red Sox are going to win and 42% that the White Sox are going to win. And then subtracting the spread, these are the prices at which I want to place buy orders for those assets. So then the action right here is set new limit order at 59 for the Red Sox and 40 for the White Sox. It looks like, and then in this case, I would check my phone, my Para app and look and see if that order has been requested, and so I can go sign in my wallet. I'm going to implement the signage in this bot, but for now, that's what I'm kind of doing. So I think the problem is one is that the opting into the yes and no asset went wrong because those assets have been deleted. I forgot to change the asset IDs to match the yes and no on the Red Sox and White Sox market, and so that's one error. And and I also didn't get the requests in my wallet on my Para wallet. I did see that the USDC asset opted in, but I'm going to try and figure out why I'm not seeing a request in Para for placing a limit order. So we can go into here. This is the function that is going to place a limit order on Alpha Arcade for this specific market at this price with this many shares and with my wallet. And so I'm making a request to this Q Market API that Alpha Arcade supplies. And so what I'm uncertain about right now is this if I'm sure it is that it will automatically send a request to my wallet. So I'm not sure why I'm not getting that, but I am going to try and add those yes and no asset, correct yes and no asset IDs in my environment variables, and then retry it and see if I get any requests in my Para wallet. So getting the logic and basic bare bones set. So let's try this again. See, I'm going to pull up my app and just see if it opts into those assets. So right now you can see, maybe not, maybe not. Anyway, I have USDC opted in. I have a couple algo in my wallet just so that I can actually opt into those assets. So let's run Python main.py. Enter. Okay, opting in, opting in. Looks like something. Oh, okay. Looks like it just opted into the no. And it just opted into the yes. Cool. And so now I'm getting the set order. And so this should be where I am getting a request on Para to buy that asset, but I'm for some reason not. And so, yeah, I'm going to look into this and come back next time with hopefully a solution and have it be placing limit orders. So yeah, this is all for today. A little shorter video, but just kind of going through my progress so far. Thanks for listening.